Hey everybody, welcome to Swing Batter. We got another great contract to review with you because you don't want to remember him. Jose Bautista, come on down. It's the year 2017, everybody, and Jose Bautista wanted a one-year deal, and by golly, he got it from those Toronto Blue Jays. And the reason for this is because everybody needs a retirement tour, if you will, and I have no problem with this signing. Regardless of his stats, regardless of what he did, it's what he did in the postseason to deliver for the Blue Jays. That is why you get a contract for 1 year, $17 million. And for that, I would say it's the cost of a parade.
Oh, I'm confused. Did his hit his playoff series home run with the famous bat flip in 16? Or you're telling me he hit it in 17 when he got the money?
I hit it in 15.
15, okay.
The only thing that matters is Toronto fans remember the bat flip and the home run.
So they were happy to take him back for $17 million.
Correct.
Hoping for one more bat flip.
Well, they got more back flips. He got more bat flips, that's for sure. As Todd, what would you say? What would you call Jose Bautista?
He invented the bat. After you have pre-Jose Bautista and then post-Jose Bautista. And in pre-Jose Bautista time, there was an unwritten rule where if you were to flip a bat or show up a pitcher, the next time you came to bat, you were getting one at the head. That was
so basically like normal baseball today, kiddos.
Like
if you run around the bases like a normal baseball player today, you would get beaned the next time you're up to bat. In today's era, that certainly does not happen. No one gets beaned. Everyone can take their time. What is it? The Tatis who does the whole stop step before he hits third because we really need that.
Right. Like
reminder.
Well, you're right. Times changed after this because I remember reading a story about Hank Aaron was talking to Dusty Baker, who was a young player at the time, and they had to face Gibson. And he said, whatever you do, do not look at him. Don't look at him. It's just do whatever you got to do at the plate, run to the base, and come back in the dugout. But if you even look at him, you might not have teeth the next at bat.
Yeah.
And everyone knew it. It wasn't like there was like, man, we really need to talk to him and really get on his good side.
Listen, the Bautista home run was great. Game 7, go ahead. It was a black, like he crushed the ball. He crushed the ball.
Everybody knew it was gone.
And it was awesome. It was emotional. And he did the bat flip and it was a huge thing. But the next year, when he goes up and he's on second base, all of a sudden, a little altercation gets engaged, and he got knocked.
For baseball standpoint,
everybody knew it was coming too, because he gets there and they're throwing down, right? And it was the most anticipated and most loved punch up until November 15th, 2024, when Mike Tyson slapped Jake Paul in the weigh-in. Like that, like you, but after that fight, there was like all this punishment came that all of a sudden, like everybody's like flipping bats and they're telling me, you got to get over it. You got to let it go. You got to let it go.
There were heated debates about it, but at the end of the day, you're right. That was
2015.
Nothing was part of the 2017 deal. The 2017 deal we're talking about, this is after the bat flip, after the fight. The Blue Jays, Jose Bautista has obviously lost a step. We all know that. His age is a little bit up there, and they still signed him for $17 million. And he didn't do very well. Batted .203, hit 23 home runs. Right. But my argument is when you have a player who performs like he did in the postseason, they are allowed to have a contract like this as a swan song because nobody remembers 2017 Jose Bautista. They don't remember that.
The manager that probably got fired because he had to play a 203 batter every day.
But this is the crazy thing about what Jose Bautista did. It wasn't just the bat flip. Now all of a sudden you have power hitters where 203 is acceptable. Like you look at the numbers. Look at his numbers in 2016. And you look at the numbers of power hitters in 2024. 203 is acceptable. How many strikeouts do you have? And 170? Something like that? Like 170 strikeouts, batting .203, flirting with, there was always the joke about the Mendoza line.
Mm-hmm.
How many strikeouts? Look it up now. Take the time to look it up. We have the most strikeouts in baseball in 2024.
I think we're well over 200.
So was Jose Bautista that horrible?
I mean, I don't think he was that horrible simply because he gave them so many good memories.
No, I agree.
So that's why I think the contract's not terrible. But I don't disagree. I think you're putting okay. The bat flip I can accept. He made it acceptable because of the fight. I think everything he did, you're right. I remember his bat flip. His bat flip was epic. I think he is the godfather of the acceptance of the bat flip. I don't think this is the beginning of the 203 batter that hits some home runs and has lots of strikeouts. Because he's older and because he didn't have it and because he didn't get signed the next year, I would say this is his swan song. It would have been different if Toronto signed him another year or a 3-year deal, which we've seen happen to 34-year-old guys, 33-year-old guys, and he gets like a 3-year deal and they're like really happy about it. That's not the case here. We're in a different time now than we are then, even though it's only 6 years. But I will give him the bat flip, best bat flip in the postseason, bar none, the emotion, everything about it. Now I believe there's too much of the showmanship of the bat flip. Now every single team has a little dance they do when they get a hit. I don't know if I'm over it. I don't know what I am, but I just like, for the love of all that is holy, every time they do something great, I would argue that it's time for the pitcher and catcher to do something every time they strike out a batter. If you're going to do something dumb when you get onto first, right, pitcher and catcher, and the whole infield can do a little dance. We can become banana ball, apparently, in Major League Baseball.
We're going to start doing this on the podcast. We're going to start doing this. Slapping, doing little.
You make a good point.
Yeah, made a great point.
That's never going to happen for Todd. So, Dad, it's me and you, buddy.
You know who owes his career to Jose Bautista? You ready for this? This is the hottest of hot takes.
Can't wait. Hold on. Sizzling.
Kyle Schwarber. In 2023, Kyle Schwarber batted 197.
Yes, you're correct.
Had 215 strikeouts. Hit a gongzillion home runs.
The Cubs gave up on him.
They gave up on him, and the only reason he exists is Jose Bautista's model.
He's the leadoff hitter.
I guess I'm too much of a traditionalist, but I cannot understand why that guy is a leadoff bat. Aren't you supposed to get on base? I mean, he's home run or nothing. Why is he leading?
He walks a ton.
He does?
He walks a ton. He strikes out a ton. So he's a home run, walk, or strikeout kind of guy. That's what I've seen from his stats. But I will say he was not that guy on the Cubs. And it's almost like he's just kind of become what he is.
I'm not trying to divert us to Kyle Schwarber. I'm just saying that this model of you got to have a high batting average and not flip your bat, that died with Jose Bautista.
Correct. No one's beaning anyone anymore. Although you could bring it back, and I would find that to be acceptable.
Maybe there's a place for Cinder.
Connie Edman is bringing back real baseball. Put the ball in play. Just put the ball in play and play the game.
Yeah.
And that household name.
Yeah.
I believe he's doing advertisements with Deion Sanders during the college football season for almonds.
Yeah.
Have you ever had an Edmonds almond? In the later half of the innings, I'm always coming through for you with pure protein. It's a safe protein snack.
I don't understand that.
I don't either. We're doing Jose Bautista. We talked about Schwarber, Alan Edmonds, and
why would Deion Sanders do an ad with a guy nobody knows?
Deion Sanders. I don't even.
They put everybody in Deion Sanders ads. Everybody Deion Sanders touches is gold. It's what he does. And this guy was pure gold for the Dodgers. Yes, we've gone around in circles. It's the Jose Bautista bat flip. I agree. I think this contract is a thumbs up in my opinion. I think Toronto's happy with what they paid for. Great memories all the way around. It's still a swing batter contract, but it's a justified swing batter contract in Brendan Lemieux's opinion. Todd, final verdict?
It's all right. I mean, they got out of it after 1 year. There was a buyout for $500,000. I mean, no harm, no foul. And then he goes on to, gets a league minimum and does a tour of the, National League East with the Mets and the Braves and some minor league deals and like playing a little bit there. And, it was a way for him to fade out. And then he came back to the Blue Jays for 1 game, so he could retire with some dignity.
Probably a good contract because at that stage, the Blue Jays were not probably expecting a World Series ring. So you just want to get some reason for the fans to come in. And if no other reason than nostalgia of seeing Jose is probably worth the money.
Yeah.
So I want to give a hats off to the agent. The agent usually goes off to the Rockies and gives him a 3-year deal, and then we remember this terrible contract, and everybody hates him. So at least he signed with Toronto 1 year, very, very reasonable. I know the money's pretty up there. So for us at Swing Batter, we find this to be an acceptable Swing Batter contract. We bid you farewell. Hats off tour, parade, if you will. But the Rockies and the Angels, stop doing what you're doing. And we know you wanted to. You wanted to sign Jose. There's no doubt about it. I'm your host, Brendan. That is Dad. That is Todd. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like as we go over the contracts that you don't want to remember.